Pit bulls are often wrongfully discriminated against. They are said to be an aggressive breed of dog that can cause harm, but in most cases this can't be further from the truth. And because of this wrongful belief of them, it can cause them to be illegal in many towns. For some history on the pit bulls were bred in the early 1800s. They were bred from the Old English bulldogs, which gained popularity in England for bull baiting. This was an event in which one or two bulldogs would harass a bull until it had collapsed from exhaustion. After the Cruelty Act to Animals of 1835, they started something called ratting, where people would time to see whose dog could catch and kill a rat in the shortest amount of time. Pit bulls got their name from this, as they would put the rats in a pit to keep them from running off. Despite this very aggressive beginning, pit bulls were still trained not to bite, as their handlers would have to be able to pick them up and take them home after they finished fighting. If they did end up biting, more often than not, they would be put down. Once they were brought to America, they were used not for fighting, but also to help round the house. Pit bulls continued to become further ingrained into our culture, and even in World War I, they were used to symbolize neutrality and bravery. They have been owned by many popular and famous people, ranging from Theodore Roosevelt to Helen Keller. According to Randy Lockwood and Kate Rindy, it is very hard to characterize a dog as vicious. Just about every breed of dog, is natural instinct is to bite. So, in a study done from 2000 to 2009 titled Co-occurrence of Potentially Preventable Factors in 256 dog bite-related fatalities in the United States, it was determined that 84% of dog bites failed to neuter the dog, 76.4% were kept in isolation from positive human interaction, and 87.1% had an absence of able-bodied person to intervene. There is a strong correlation with dogs that bite and dogs that are neglected. For the most part, if you were to train and handle your dog with respect and be a responsible owner, as all owners should be, there would be no problem with dogs biting in the first place. In another study published in 2017 titled Dog Bite Injuries to Humans and the Use of Breed-Specific Legislation, a comparison of bites from legislated and non-legislated dog breeds, they concluded that dogs that are illegal are less likely to bite humans, but dogs that are legal were less likely to be reported for biting humans. Along with that, it may not even be legally prohibiting to allow breed-specific bans. In an article by Matt Wagner and James Wilson titled Are Laws Prohibiting Ownership of Pit Bull Type Dogs Legally Enforceable? It stated that these laws are often times too vague to put dog owners on notice and could represent illegally taking someone's private property. Some of the dog ban laws can be considered unconstitutional and therefore cannot be held up in a court of law. Statistics on this slideshow also show that pit bull type dogs, type breeds, are not even the top. They don't even have the most fatalities per 100 paid breeds. That would be a Malamute. And then, according to a study that titled Is that dog a pit bull? A cross-country comparison of perceptions of shelter workers regarding breeding identifications. Many different breeds of dogs, including American pit bulls, American short Staffordshire terriers, bull terriers, English bulldogs, and Staffordshire bull terriers, are often labeled as pit bulls in some places, even though they are not actually pure pit bulls. This even applies to animal shelters, as when dogs are brought in to the animal shelters, it oftentimes depends on what the perception what the local perception of what a pit bull is, as to whether they will be considered a pit bull or not. All in all, the discrimination against pit bulls is not only wrong, it won't hold up in the court of law. There is no evidence showing that pit bulls are an aggressive breed and should be illegal.